We're here at the Strauss Mansion at Atlantic Highlands, just like where we film most of our episodes here for Ghosts on the Coast. But today we're actually going to show you a few things that have never made it on film before. Right here is a cistern for a well that's in the basement. We know people love reading about wells in the basements of haunted houses, and doesn't this look like the house that you would want to have a well in the basement of? Yeah, you would. We're going to have tours at the end of the month. We'll talk about that another time. You can come check it out. But Lou here is going to talk to us about the cistern and the well.
Cistern here at the Strauss Mansion. Basically what would happen is when it rained, the water would come down through our Yankee gutter system and into the cistern. The cistern was used for basically washing clothes, flushing toilets, stuff like that. It wasn't a drinking water type cistern. The cistern in turn goes underneath this deck here, and it also, the foundation wall of the house is actually the foundation wall for the cistern, which we'll see inside as we walk inside.
When was the last time this was uncovered? You know?
I've never seen it uncovered. It's always had growth over it. Since we moved here, nobody's attempted to open it. We don't even know if there's water in it. So
there could still be water going back to.
Yes.
How long was this? Was this been the original construction of the house, 1893?
Yes. Basically, this is where they would get their water from for their homes if they didn't have a well. Luckily, we have a well down in the basement that we can show people.
So we're going to go right into the basement here.
We're in the basement here. We were talking about the cistern that was outside. If you look along this wall where all these pipes are actually going right through the cistern. And the reason we know it's a cistern is because right here where the wall's flat, it then pitches in towards the outside. That's typical shape of a cistern. They're typically 20 to 24 feet long and about 6 feet deep. The width's usually about 6 to 8 feet wide. So it's a pretty big storage area for water. And like we said, right beside the cistern are sinks for washing clothes, stuff like that. So the hired help, the maids and butlers, would do the laundry down here in the basement and then bring it upstairs through. You have right here, what they call a butler's pantry or elevator. I forget what they call it.
Dumbwaiter.
Dumbwaiter.
It's actually a block
Yeah.
there.
But you open the dumbwaiter, they would put the clothes in, and then they would pull a rope and get it up to the other floors so that the maids could then take the clothes and put them into the bedrooms.
Yeah, this would go straight up into the kitchen where that
Correct.
opening is.
Where that opening is. That's why that opening is very low, the headroom, and everybody hits their head because that used to be the dumbwaiter. So.
Now, what do we know about the well that's right here? How far down do you think this goes?
We really don't know. We just know it's capped. And, you know, it's unusual to have something like that here.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless it was a well or something of that sort. So, we're assuming if we ever get the chance to pry this up without damaging it, you will find the well underneath there. A lot of people are creeped out by wells like this and old houses like this. When you have a 21-room mansion and you got a capped well, do you really want to uncap it?
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen, you know, how many horror movies and TV shows, even the reality ghost hunting shows, there's always a well in the basement. Now, again, we've done investigations down here. We've done a lot of spirit box sessions down here. We only really had one good one, so it doesn't seem like there's anything around here. But a lot of paranormal investigators believe that water is a source of energy for spirits. So if your house is near like a lake or a river, stream, we of course have Sandy Hook Bay right down the street, which you can see from the third floor here, and also this well. So is this some kind of source of psychic energy for the house? Because it is notoriously haunted. It could be, but when we investigate right near it, we generally don't get anything. We're going to try some more investigations as we go through the month of October down here. We'll spend a little bit more time in the basement than we normally do, and see if we can maybe conjure something up out of the well. Yep. And then we're going to move inside in a minute to take a look at one of the most unique aspects of this house, which is something that Lou and the original people that, when they took over the house in the 80s, something that they found lurking here in the basement. Yes, this is a coffin in the basement here at Strauss Mansion. There's another one here that's fake. We use it for Halloween gags. You'll notice all this stuff back here. We do like a haunted house attraction every year. This year's is going to be a little bit different, but in years past we used some of the stuff as decorations. But right here, this is a real coffin. This is not a gag. This is not something that we bought at a Halloween store or built ourselves. It's a real coffin. It's heavy. You were one of the people that found it and actually put it together because it was in disrepair.
That's right. The coffin itself was in very bad shape. It had fallen apart due to moisture. The glue they used to hold it together and the brads and the nails it just fell apart. So while we were doing the Halloween tours here, we thought, okay, we have this coffin. It's been here in the house forever, since the Historical Society bought the house. Looks like it's from the 1800s. As you can see, it's very small. Somebody my size or Greg's size would never fit into this. So I would assume it was either for a woman or a teenage child. And the handles on the side here are all the original handles to the coffin. We glued it together, nailed it together, and we put some felt inside to make it a prop for our Halloween thing. But we thought it would be a real nice addition to our haunted tours, as it is real. And it's been with us ever since. And
People always ask about it. They always like, well, why would there be a coffin in the basement? I actually have no idea why a real coffin would be in the basement, because this was about what, the 80s, I guess, when they came in.
But way back in the late 1800s, 1900s, whenever they had a funeral service for somebody, the bodies didn't go to a funeral home back then. What they would do is display them prominently in their living rooms upstairs. So I guess
where funeral parlor, the term funeral parlor comes from. This would have been. I mean, is it possible somebody was perhaps waked?
Don't know.
In this, I don't think there will never be a way of knowing for sure, but I suppose it is possible that a body was in this at one point and then perhaps buried in a different coffin. So
it did have a top, because it does have mounting holes where the top
you
would
can
have
actually
been
see
screwed
if you
down.
zoom in here.
There are mounting holes. About 8 different holes in here. 2, 4, 6, 8 holes. But there was never a top, so we don't know what the top looked like or anything.
Wake, they wouldn't need a top, so maybe perhaps there was a wake upstairs. You'd have to think over the course of 100 years, over 100 years, that people have died in the house, and it is possible that someone was laid out, as we say, up in the parlor, but we'll never know for sure. Would you like to take a nap?
Why not?
You would fit.
I know I would.
The three of us would fit. You would fit.
Yeah, you would probably fit nicely in here.
Nice and cozy.
Anyway, that'll do it from Strauss Mansion. Just a couple of things that we've never filmed on Ghosts on the Coast. I think we've probably mentioned it in passing. The real coffin, and also the creepy well over there, the other side of the basement. You can come check this out for yourself. October 21st, 22nd, 28th, and 29th, we're having tours here. Ghost hunt tours. They are not Halloween gags with all of this stuff and people jumping out. They are actual ghost hunt tours where we're going to try to find something. And we're going to bring people down in the basement. You can come check this out. And I think we can let people lay down if they want to get a picture taken.
As long as we support we'll put plywood under it or something for support, because we don't really want to damage it.
It'll be a great photo op and a great time. It's going to be a fun October.
That's for sure. Something different here at Strauss Mansion again. We're making history.
Yep. For Ghosts on the Coast, Rick Aggiano, Lou Fligger, Patrick Osborne's behind the camera, and we will see you next time.